Hey, it's the True Party King. You're listening to the Scheming Mind podcast. Question 0015. How do we assume anti-fragility? So this is a very important question during this time of pandemic. How do we fight against the unfightable, or the perceived unfightable? I have another juicy poem to share with you all today. Throw it up right over there. How do we assume anti-fragility? When life hits hard, some shatter, some stay rigid, we hit back harder. So breathe, wait, and witness your shield to vulnerability. Seek discomfort during dilemma, then turn towards the torrent and say, make my day. So, that is the poem for this week. I hope you had a good time, and please subscribe, like, enjoy, comment, dislike, whatever you want. How do we assume anti-fragility? When life hits hard, some shatter, some stay rigid, we hit back harder. So this very much delved into, I guess, the three categories of people that tend to exist when it comes to, I guess, a great problem being encountered in your life, whether it's this pandemic or the loss of a loved one, whether it's them passing away or them breaking up with you. You're going to encounter many of these experiences, and who you are during these periods, I feel like, is very informative in terms of who you are as a general person, in terms of how you even allow minor problems to impact you. So the ones that shatter are definitely quite reactive. They see the world as impossible to control, and why even bother to an extent? Might as well just let it come and knock me down, and hopefully someone will come to the rescue. Then there are those that stay rigid, those that accept that there isn't much that is going to fight against this, I guess, whatever sort of event occurs in your life. And they stay true to their beliefs. And, there is certain power to staying true to yourself. But the final area, those that are anti-fragile, still have those positive aspects of the rigid individual, but recognize that the world around us is a constantly shifting place. Our selves, our personalities, our physiologies, the cells within our bodies change year to year, month to month, week to week, day to day, hour to hour, second to second. So why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't our philosophies be able to adapt should they no longer be sufficient to cope with what we're currently undergoing? Now, you don't have to constantly throw out your your personalities, your goals, your dreams at the drop of a hat. But if it no longer serves you, then you should at least ask yourself the question if it's deserving to hold on to. Or at least, maybe it just needs a little bit of a tweaking. And as such, there ain't no tweak better than hitting back harder, in my opinion. Just being like, you think that got me? Like, no. Bam. Let's move on. So breathe, wait, and witness your shield. Unlike drinking, eating, any other active thing you can do, you can literally breathe anywhere. Unless you're literally underwater and holding your breath. You can just take a breath, wait, witness. What is your problem? How can you combat it most effectively? Don't just see the thing happening and, because that's shattering. When you don't think about a resolution with strength and direction, you're going to collapse. What you're trying to resolve will likely end in failure, or at least not the amount of success that you could have achieved had you just, like, okay, let's take this one step at a time. What can I do? So yeah. And witnessing your shield is, again, like I said, like the thing that you can use to deflect against the difficulties is something that you are most easily able to witness through breathing and pausing. Like, how can you protect your vulnerability and use it to your benefit? Onto the last stanza. So, seek discomfort during dilemma, then turn towards the torrent and say, make my day. So yes, the best way to learn to become anti-fragile is to seek discomfort. Because even though I did initially say that there are like 3 categories of people, those that shatter, stay rigid, and hit back, you don't have to stay in that area. And again, no one is perfect in all areas. There are always going to be some factors where you are very rigid, some that, you might shatter, and others that, you are able to deflect against. And your ability to deflect against the most things in your life very much stems from how much do you seek discomfort? How much do you seek the ability to combat those things and train your mind and body to fight when the true battle begins? Because in many instances, you're not going to know that this fight is coming months in advance. Many times it's going to just hit you and you have to react now, go. So the best thing you can do is prepare when you don't have those experiences through, like I said last time, like the cold showers, breath work, fasting, all those simple things like that. And yeah, when life, the torrent, as I say in this thing, when the torrent comes and hits you, it is important, at least in my opinion, at least when it comes to even taking a cold shower like I did right before this, which always sort of amps me out right before I listen or record. You just say, like, give it to me. Give me the cold. Like, I want it. I want to feel whole. I want to feel that warm friend that builds me up, that makes me laugh, that makes me feel that spark of energy, and have it make my day. When it comes to the torrent of, let's say, the beaches of Florida, when I go visit my grandmother, my favorite spot to lie is right on the cusp, right where the waves come in and out, not just on the beach, not just in the water, but in that moment. And I'd like to just stand perpendicular to it. Let it come, let it slice through me. Let me feel the ebbs and flows. And I can't quite explain why specifically I feel so enamored by that experience, but it definitely comes from the necessity to confront life, You don't have to, when it comes to like a big wave crashing against you, you don't have to just stand in front of it like a man and eventually get knocked over, because that is your more, more vulnerable side. I mean, you don't have to stand behind it, because then you're sort of deluding yourself into believing that there isn't going to be a wave to hit. And when one does, you're not going to be ready. No, I like to stand sideways. Let the waves come, hit me, and slice right by. Like, let me just feel the crash, but overcome it. Learn how best to shield it. And as such, that's how I assume anti-fragility. Because it isn't a comfortable spot. Obviously the beach is nice and warm and cozy. The water, it's a little chilly at first, but, once you get your whole body submerged, start moving around, it gets warmer. But staying on that cusp, you feel the cold come in, then rush out, and then the warmth returns from the sun, and then the cold comes back, so you're constantly having to readapt and reform. And that is something that I feel as though is quite important in terms of assuming the anti-fragility, to be able to understand that your life is not always going to be stressful, but certainly not always going to be pleasurable. It's not always going to be happy. So it's best to be able to tackle both moments. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, this question 0015 of the Scheming Mind Palace podcast. I am your host, the True Party King. Like, dislike, leave a comment, whatever the heck you want to do. Again, I'm trying to achieve anti-fragility, so be as blunt as you want.